Today we are going to talk about a theory that I already know exists, one that I've done a good amount of research on during the free time I've had during my last few weeks that I've been getting moved into my new place. That is the theory that the homeworld or Jasper is a gem fusion. Now I want to start out by saying that I don't believe this is true, and that if you do believe this is true, that is totally fine. I don't think any less of you, and I don't think you are definitely wrong any more than I think I'm definitely right. There is still plenty more that we have to learn about these characters before we can say things definitively about them. I could very well be very wrong. I just don't think that this theory is true, and I'd like to explain why. To do this, I'm going to take a look at the two variations of fusion that we know of so far, and I'll explain why the visual evidence doesn't support Jasper being either. The first, and by far the most prominent form of fusion that we have come to learn about in the series, is basic gem fusion, which happens when two or more gems synchronize their actions through dance, and then their humanoid avatars merge together. However, their gemstones themselves do not combine. This results in a larger avatar body powered by the gemstones of each gem that was fused, giving the resulting gem a lot more power than each individual gem would have. Even Steven's fusion with Connie is a variation of this. Even though his physical body merges with hers, his gemstone does not change. This leads me to believe that the gemstones themselves cannot change, just like they don't change when the gem shapeshifts. This also means that any gem born of this traditional form of fusion must have at least two gemstones, no exceptions. There is no second gemstone visible on Jasper, even when her body becomes light and she merges with lapis lazuli. You can see the stone on her nose floating around as they fuse, but the only other gemstone visible is Lapis's gemstone. This means that Jasper isn't this type of fusion. I'm actually pretty much 100% sure of this one. The second type of fusion that we've seen is the one that I have a few more questions about and therefore can't be 100% sure about, and that is the forced fusion, aka the cluster fusion method. This is fusion accomplished by forcing fragments of two or more gems, actual gemstones, together over time, exposing them to intense pressure. This form of fusion seems to still have been experimental at the time of the Gem Civil War, something like 6,000 plus years ago. And every resulting gem that we have met, which has been created through this form of fusion, has been very non-humanoid and very deformed. The gemstone of these beings is also obviously made of more than one stone. They have clear segments. Jasper's gem is a single uniform piece, and she is clearly humanoid in form with no clear deformities. Additionally, Jasper was alive during the war. If this form of fusion could only produce things akin to the cluster at the time of the war, it's unlikely that this is how Jasper was made. So she almost definitely isn't this kind of fusion either, but again, like I said, we don't know much about it, so this could be untrue. In conclusion, unless there is yet another third variety of fusion, I find it highly unlikely that Jasper is a fusion. Some proponents of this theory say that Jasper has been a fusion for so long that she has just forgotten what she is. But let's take a look at Garnet for a second. She is the main character that has been fused for the longest, and is therefore the main character that they use to teach us about fusion in the series most often. Garnet always seems to be aware of her two unfused selves within herself. Also, based on the way that Jasper feels about fusion, I just don't think that she would be stable enough to stay fused for long enough to forget her own origins. But I could be wrong about this, who knows? What do you think? Comment below. I've really enjoyed doing these videos for you guys, and it has really caused my channel to explode, which at this point I really just consider a bonus because I do enjoy doing these videos so much. More videos are to come. I will still be doing one video a month as the base series, but if I do come up with any additional ideas in the meantime, chances are there will be other episodes in between those main series episodes, so look forward to that. Also, please check out the description below where I have links to some other things that you might find interesting. Either way, this has been Awesome John 22, and I will talk to you guys later.